So today we're going to be talking about a build that should allow you to one-shot almost everything in the game. And I'm not lying about one-shotting. The amount of damage you can do with this is pretty intense. And it all starts with the new skill, the Achilles Pulse that we recently just got. If you take a look at this right here, we have a rogue agent in front of us. I missed the first shot, but I already had pulsed them. And look at the second shot. 73 million, right? And I didn't even crit. 73 million headshot. Woo! And then we have this one right here. This one was a little bit less. You don't even have to hit that hard. This is a heroic rogue agent. I do miss the first shot, waiting to line that second one up. But when I tell you guys, it's going to get even better. So he ends up stopping for a second. I'm able to line that up, finish him off. But it gets better, guys. Let's take a look at the range. So we're in the range right now. We pulse with the Achilles Pulse. We're about to take the shot. 117 million. And we're not even fully maxed out. We're close to it, but we still have about 2% headshot damage we can add to this build. And that's why when I tell you this is pretty impressive, it really is. And yes, it all starts with that Achilles Pulse. And the reason why is because what the Achilles Pulse does is it targets a single enemy with a pulse, which identifies weaknesses and highlights them. And it causes damage to those areas to take headshot damage. It's used for solo players and as a support skill user, which I think that's probably where it's going to be most beneficial. If you can have somebody who can constantly pulse for you, this is probably where this is really going to shine in group play. Now, yes, we are using the hardest hitting sniper rifle in the game, the Nemesis. This is probably, yes, still the hardest hitting sniper rifle in the game with 2.4 million damage with marksman rifle, headshot damage, and has critical hit chance. Now, why is it hit so hard? Because of the talent. Shots fired deal 0 to 100% weapon damage based on how long the trigger is held before releasing. So imagine having an additional 100% weapon damage every time you release is really good. Now for the mask, we do have a 4-piece aces and eights. This gives us that 15% weapon damage, 30% headshot damage, and then it has the 4-piece, which remember, after 5 cards are flipped, the damage you deal is amplified by 30% depending on how many shots you actually get. So you can get 30%, you can get 4 shots of 30% amplified damage, you can get 3 shots. So it's really an impressive build to run still to this day. And I put out builds, we're using this a long time ago. Aces and eights has only gotten better over time, but it's still an amazing piece. Now we have weapon damage on here, headshot damage, and we have a headshot damage mod. Now we still could get an additional, 0.8% headshot damage right here. So yeah, like I said, even though we're hitting 117 million with 780,000, we can still improve it. Now for the chest piece, I decided to go with the Providence chest piece. This gives me 15% headshot damage. Now there's another chest piece talent we could probably put here, but we'll explain that in a second. We do have weapon damage on here, headshot damage, so we're missing another 0.7% headshot damage, 11.5% critical hit damage, so we can improve on that. And then we do have we're missing 0.2% extra on the headshot damage mod. Now we're running Headhunter. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit is 30 seconds, deals an additional 125% of that killing blows damage. Now, there is a thing called Perfect Hunter, which comes on the Walker and Harris, but that you'll lose the 15% headshot damage, but you'll gain an additional 25% total damage you would hit at the end. But the way it amplifies the addition, I've tried both different ways using both, and this one just seemed to hit the hardest with the combo that I have. Now, I'm waiting to get a God rolled, and I'll show you the piece that I was currently using besides this one. We have Perfect Headhunter on the Walker and Harris, and look, like I said, for 30 seconds, you get 150% extra damage from the killing blows prior damage. So I'm waiting to get a God roll piece. If you notice, this one is missing 3%, which I'm optimizing at the moment. And then this one also has crit chance versus the crit damage. And I feel like you should have crit damage on at least one of the chest piece or the backpack. So you choose and then have crit chance rolled on one or the other. So that way you stay around 25% crit chance, which is still hard to crit with this build. But when you do, that's when you see those high numbers. And if you have a teammate maybe running a Coyote's mask, well, they can give you that additional 25% crit chance if they're in the back. If we get into the holster, we're running our second piece of aces. This has weapon damage and headshot damage. The aces and 8 knee pads, weapon damage, headshot damage. You guys see the trend here with the aces and 8 pieces. And then of course the gloves, aces and 8s gloves, weapon damage and headshot damage. Now where it gets really impressive is the backpack We have Neuraldi backpack that has 10% marksman rifle damage. We have weapon damage on here, headshot damage, critical hit chance, headshot damage for the mod, and then we have vigilance, increased total weapon damage by 25%. Taking damage disables his buff for 4 seconds. So I believe when you run the Neuraldi backpack, the marksman rifle backpack, and then you run the Walker Harris chest piece, it just hits less than if I run the Providence chest piece with the Neuraldi's backpack. Or you could swap those pieces around because of the 10% marksman rifle damage and then the 5% weapon damage you get from Walker and Harris. But even though you get that extra damage from Perfect Headhunter, I just felt like when I was testing the numbers. Now, I'm going to test again, guys. I'm going to get a fully maxed out and then hopefully get one that has critical hit damage. And then I can really tell you the difference between the two. I think you should have at least one piece with critical hit chance, so you're not under 25% critical hit chance on this build, and you'll see the stats. But I tried it multiple ways, guys. I was playing with it, and for me, when the finals numbers came out, the Neuraldi backpack with the Providence chest piece, because of the 15% headshot damage, you could even use an Neuraldi chest piece because you get 15% from a 2-piece, right? So I felt like that extra 15% headshot damage was really hitting harder than just running the Walker and Harris and then hoping to get the extra bonus at the bottom, which you would, but it still wasn't hitting as hard. So if we look at the stats, I'll show you the stats real quick. We have 24% critical hit chance, which will be at 25% once we max out our crit chance on the backpack. We have 61% critical hit damage, 324% headshot damage. So that's where you're seeing the high numbers. That's why we're able to push that 117 million, almost 118 million per shot solo when we get that Achilles Pulse active. Now we have 100% all weapon damage and then 55% marksman rifle damage, which we're maxed out on the amount of damage on every single piece. We're fully maxed out. But yeah, this is where the damage is coming from, guys. This is why you're able to see that really high damage from this. And I've been clearing control points with it, just like sitting way in the back, just boom, 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 boom. The one thing I did notice with the Achilles Pulse, if you're too far back, it won't detect the target, so you got to get a little bit closer. So sometimes you might get too close and then get shot. So just heads up, I think this still is best with a support player on your team running it versus a solo sniper. But if you want to have fun with it, like I'm doing right here, it's definitely fun to see those numbers. Let me know what you guys think, but we're gonna wrap up the build here. I appreciate all the support you guys been showing on the channel lately, on this one and on the other channel. Definitely leave a thumbs up if you find these videos useful, because I'll keep making them if you do. And then always leave a comment down below to let me know how I'm doing. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, nothing but skills is out.